My name is Angela. This is my final project presentation for the PHP development with my SQL class with Professor Kenneth Marks. Um, this is a project that I decided to incorporate one of the things that I like into it, or one of my hobbies, I should say. I like birds. I like going for walks and using like the Merlin Bird ID app. I like bird sighting. I like bird watching. I am a bird girly, in other words. So I figured that was a good idea to incorporate that into my final project. So similar to project three, as you can see here, I'm going to have a bird log to add bird sightings with a location, a number of birds, etc. And then there's going to be a profile that I'll create in this demonstration that has some extra customization options. So it's similar to project three, but there are some differences here. Let's get into it. So for the navigation bar, we are currently logged out, and there is no user associated with this web application yet, so we're going to have to sign up. Here we've got the home page, which is the bird log. This doubles as the home page as well, and then a page to log in. Now, I mentioned that there's no user associated with this web application yet, so we are going to have to create one. So let's head over to my sign up page. Use this username that I've definitely never used before, and then create a password. Let's just use that. Okay, so now we are ready to log in. Wonderful. So you see up here, the navigation bar options have changed. Now we have an option to add a bird log and look at our user profile. And we have an option to log out, but I'm not going to do that yet. So first things first, I'm going to set up the user profile with the information that I have listed here. If you click on this link, here we can have your first name, last name, your favorite season, which we'll get into that in a second, your date of birth, age, and your email. So let's say I'm going to enter my information in. My favorite season is definitely autumn. I'll put I'm not going to put my actual birthday down, so I'll just put a random date. 1997. That would make me 28? No, 29. I can't math. And I'll use my Madison College email and I will hit update profile. So in the profile section, there's some new information that we didn't see before. I have an application that assigns your bird based off of your favorite season. So my favorite season was autumn. So my bird is the yellow-rumped warbler. And in this link, if I open it in a new tab, it brings me to one of my favorite websites. It's just called All About Birds, and it's got some information on that specific bird. So let's say I wanted to edit it and decide that my favorite season was winter. If I update it, I have a new bird, the black-capped chickadee. So there are 4 different options of birds associated to your profile with the 4 different seasons. So besides this profile section, let's show how to create a bird log. So for adding a bird log or adding a bird sighting, we've got a link that will take us back to the home page here. Date, type of bird, number of birds spotted, location, gender, and a place to upload an image of the bird if you'd like. So let's say the date of the sighting is today. Let's say we saw a red-breasted nuthatch. Let's say we saw 3 of those in Madison, Wisconsin, and we don't know the gender of the bird. If we click, I can upload an image of the red-breasted nuthatch here, and then add bird log. So here we've got the date, number, location, gender, and an image of the red-breasted nuthatch here. And if we wanted to, we can add another bird log, but for time's sake, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it to the one. So if we go back to the home page, you see we have our most recent bird log listed here. If we wanted to edit it, let's say we miscounted and we only saw 2 birds versus 3. And let's say instead of in Madison, we saw them in Sun Prairie. If we hit update bird log, it'll show us the most recent information we entered here. Going back to the user profile, if you see here under latest bird logs, that most recent log that we created is now listed. This section right here is set to list the 10 most recent bird logs ordered by the date. So let's say that you had over 10 logs total. This section of the user profile is only going to show you the 10 most recent bird logs, starting with the most recent right here. So I think the only thing I have left to show is how to delete it. If you go here on the trash can icon, we can delete it. We can decide not to delete it. That'll take us back to the home page. But let's just go ahead and delete it here. Yep, no bird logs anymore. And then let's log out. So there's a couple pieces of the code that I wanted to talk about, specifically in the user details. So I think I mentioned this earlier, but this final project, it was a little bit similar to what we did for project 3 in that there was a log that we had to create, but when it came to the user profile, there's a lot more customization options that I added, and I'm going to talk about that here. So first, in order to get the links to work on your profile of what bird you were, I had to create an associative array to hold spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Excuse me. This was a little bit difficult to figure out how to do. I originally did not set this up as an array, and I was having difficulty assigning spring, summer, autumn, and winter to the same variable, and eventually I just came to the realization that this needed to be an array, and it made it so much easier. So we've got the a HTML tag here with the link to all about birds. We've got the bird name right here wrapped in the A tag, and that'll take you to the website via the link that we did earlier. I also included a little description of the bird for each of the seasons, which I thought was kind of cool. Um, Moving on, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but when we first created that sign up and then we logged in for the first time before we created our profile, the favorite season had not been set yet. So this if block or this if statement here, if the favorite season is null or it doesn't have a value, it shows no bird assigned yet. So that means that if there's no value, that's just what it says instead of showing your favorite bird, because your favorite bird is based off of your favorite season. And if your favorite season doesn't have a value, this is what gets set as the value. So moving on to my add user file, I have another associative array here. This is for assigning the specific season, like spring, summer, yada, 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 to their specific bird that you'll get assigned. Like I said before, I think this one I did after creating that other array, so this one I thought should be an array as well, and it ended up being very simple and a very easy thing to use. Um, so that's that there. And then underneath that, this user bird equals season birds, and then you've got in the brackets favorite season. This is where I assign you your bird based off of your favorite season. So this is where that happens. Let's see. And then another thing I just wanted to note on this page here, and I'll talk about it in the edit user file as well. Since we created a sign up and then we logged in with that sign up, I used an update versus an insert because you can only have one user profile per login. So you cannot create multiple files per login, you can only just do the one. So instead of inserting it, I'm just updating the login that you created with this information here. And you can see that over here in the edit user. You've got the array again, you've got the assigning the user bird based off the season, and then this one is just editing your profile. So again, we use update. So I think I might be over time, so I'm going to end it. But thank you so much for watching my presentation. I had a lot of fun with this. I had a lot of fun incorporating something that I like and one of my hobbies into this project. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.